since the fan is already on, I'm just going to leave it on. What was the word that didn't get said? It's actually an important word, but mistakenly I clicked on it. Here on my phone screen, volume button. Oh man, how come a word I thought was important didn't get said? So, these ones I cleaned. TLC, you know, like how with the mending, of course when you say mending is given an attention, and mending is also like has an air of healing to it, doesn't it? So I feel like we could apply it to our souls as well. Whereas with these shoes, I kind of applied it as like a, well, because these are kind of, they needed like a good old clean, and you didn't get to see them before because of my battery. However, now you're getting to see the after, and I just popped them in the sink, and with some washing up liquid. Yeah, so, ooh, even the soles are quite nice. Yeah, so it's nice, and yeah, I'm gonna use these. So that, actually the maintenance of these is quite easy because they're just gel sandals. Isn't this crazy? I'm thinking back to some of the people from Facebook who lived in Africa and had actually like trouble to like make ends meet. And I remember this woman asked me, or she didn't like, well, she asked me, well, she told me, I'm looking for good food for my children. And I couldn't help these people. And that's like, I'm looking at this and it's just like, what are we doing with all these shoes? And now that I have them, I would like to make a good use out of them. The ones which are still in good shape. So actually these ones, wait a second. Alright, here you go. And the gel sandals, just throwing that in there. Hashtag compassion. And, you know, these are really glittery. I like these. And I was like, I don't know why I never wear these. But actually, when you like let it sink in, we do know the reasons. And these are quite hot. Because the thing is, as kids, we loved them. And I thought it was one of those items like, I probably would have been like, I'd be really healed for wearing them longer. But all of a sudden now, because they're in, everybody wants them. So I was like, I'm having no part of it. But then I realised actually I wanted them too. And I was just upset that to have, not even have had to go through this feeling of like feeling like worthlessness, like uncool and this and that. So now I have these, and then a part of me still like, I just can't really like walk around in these on the street. Not only because they're quite flat, like quite hard, but also like just because of that dynamic. At least I have never tried, but now I'm thinking, actually now that I'm recounting this, but this is involvements later, even with this dress actually. However, for me they were like beach sandals, but then, and I actually like stepped in a river the other, like not the other summer, it's actually quite long ago, but in my mind I still want to incorporate more swimming into my life. I'm like, because I wanted to go so much and I had to wait for summer, so I had to tell myself it's not summer yet, and I feel like my mind still remembers, no, I can't go swimming, even though it's been another summer at least. How embarrassing. But yeah, so for that they were really useful, and it's because you can close them up as well, so they don't slip off your feet in the river like that one, like the other ones would, and that's why they got dirty. So I'm not going to use them for that anymore, but these ones, yes. However, once I had them on in the summer on the beach, and also the sand got in, which I hadn't anticipated, but yeah, of course it would, but then also the sun, it was like so hot that actually the rubber would like heat up a lot, and my feet were like burning, and I'm like, these were made as summer shoes, like why is this happening? So I think that's, if I'm honest, why I haven't actually reached for them so much. I really like them, so it's a pity because I only got a couple of uses out of them, so it's like, I mean, I can't really force, back to the statement, but I don't want to even say that, but I can't force these to not get that hot. I mean, if it was in the river, because I didn't do it, because it'd be kind of like, if I actually wear them in the water, it's kind of different, but if I just wear them on the beach, but also, I'm thinking, I don't know, it's just one of those shoes where again, because when I think of the statement, what God has bound, men shouldn't separate. You know, if it's loose, because I don't know the English version actually, but look at the pretty glitter. It's like rainbow colors. I don't even know what to tell you, because it's like I didn't want to make excuses, and I find these attachments, and because of whom this is coming from, I can't even like say anything. But yeah, I don't know if I'm ready. It just would have been so nice if I got more use out of them. I think I wore them like maybe like twice, like not even a handful of times, like an actual handful. And I don't know what to tell you, but I feel like you're seeing examples of what kind of these statements, at least to my understanding, like might mean. In the, I mean, oh God, I don't want to say it's my understanding, but also like, you know, these are just like examples of the statement of what we can kind of like bring it back to. How do you say in English? Es darauf zurückführen. I don't know. I love the glitter, and I think this is, but also like my childhood. Like I value it still, and we had so much fun. Swimming, so es wäre eine Überlegung wert. So I took all the ones out which I might, you know, where there's something, it's kind of like, I mean, there's actually could be something, but I know I love them so much, and it's just. Lost in thought. I love these so much, so comfortable, definitely saying. There's Yara in there. Oh, I haven't opened this one yet. Maybe I'll just show you some of the ones, because this one, and this one's also definitely saying, absolutely love this. Absolutely love it. I thought it's so nice, this detailing here. Birkenstocks. I had to throw one box out. Just right there. The Birkenstock box. Because what God bound men shall separate, and this actually fallen apart, and I wanted to keep it all the time because I wanted to keep the original boxes because I liked them, and because I like the brand, so it has the brand on, but also I liked the fact that you could actually see from the outside what shoe was in the box. Like with these, I know it's Puma, I know which ones they are, whereas the other ones sometimes I have to guess. And in a box like this, look very similar. I know they have this on, but then you have to come. Actually, this is the wrong one. So, you know. However, and maybe this is a good point in time to mention what I found out, that I thought, I don't suffer if I'm saying anything, but like, I thought that what God bound men shall separate, that it was kind of like, what I didn't really understand why. Well, if something falls apart, God should then, like then we shouldn't like try and bring it back together when it's meant to, like, because I thought bound I took it literally, but then I evolved to understand that actually that like bound means he bound sort of the fact that, or like for it to fall apart, he bound the, I suppose, the event, or like he bound that they fall apart. And so if man shall separate what God bound, then that means man shouldn't try and put it back together what God has bound to fall apart. I thought I would mention, because I was wondering if there's other people, if I didn't know that, then maybe other people also didn't know that. And also, I came across someone in a group. They were actually talking about this subject, quite interesting. That it was cool that I had something to say. And then I mentioned it, that this is applicable to our own lives, and I feel cool that it feels cool that I got to infuse that like group, because it's like a study group, and yeah, earlier at the time I wanted to have mentioned that anyway. You can kind of study forever, but this was usable information for us to actually utilize in our lives if it gives us the blueprint as to how to live our lives then it's for us to utilize. Of course, we utilize things to the extent as we comprehend them, and yet, even like when we open our minds to the fact that there's actually something that applies to our lives, and it's usable information for us, then it's actually, we might see it differently. And sometimes I see like a lot of people have a lot of theories, but then like there's, what's the meaning of the knowledge if we don't, have a knowing to utilize something or information. Yeah, here you go. I love these. And that was the one thing in that group where I kind of, where I thought I might not have that much interest to go into that group. I did it anyway. And like the same way I accepted everybody, I kind of accepted what people like invited me to. And yet now I look at it back at it, like I was able to bring that, like maybe I wasn't in the wrong place at the wrong time, or like I was able to bring that, and also I found a way to express that, because I used to think, oh, maybe it's kind of that, I didn't want to like criticize and make in a way that makes people feel bad. So this way I just got to I got to express what my, I guess, point of criticism, positive criticism would have been, or the fact that like what I felt was the one thing where I wasn't like, oh, that interested in being in a group, but like that's my interest actually to have said that, and I did got a chance, which was cool. So these are, actually, I mean, again, these are not quite, remember I mentioned actually the shoe that fell apart, it's the exact shape with the kind of heel and the kind of pointiness, so that actually isn't my style, but with this one I really love it. So I love these. There's only like, this is what I mean, because in theory these might also kind of be a bit flat, actually quite hard compared, especially for class shoes. But I love these so much. I still lucky to get them, because I think I got them cheaper at eBay or something like that. Something did happen there, and so they actually deserve more wear. Not because, I mean, I don't want to be a shopaholic mindset type of, I would kind of come in with a shopaholic mind, oh, these are so awesome, they deserve more wear. It's just, I mean, I have them now, and I do really like them. Also, they would go really, really well, once again, with this perfect dress. Everything just goes perfectly together. I wonder if that's, I mean, everything's coinciding perfectly, and also it's making a point, and also maybe I do know my style enough for it to kind of go each other very well. Suppose with the sandals, with the Yara sandals. Oh, I always say Yara. Yara sandals. Yalla. Yara. No, like, yeah, so yeah. So I just absolutely I absolutely love them. I want to wear them often. This is why I don't want them in boxes, because then you don't see them and you don't actually like reach for them, and you're not reminded every time that you have them. So it's like, oh yeah, I own this, but that's when I open the box. And so also it's what is it? It's February, so yet to become warm enough to wear those. Then it's one of the things I wonder about, because man trying to separate, and I don't know if that's related to like these kind of things coming out, because I'm kind of quite old, so if it's like me not really using them, I don't know why I have this. Just it used to be fair enough, but not so. I really did like him though. I think there was some disappointment about this, but one time I cut them off and then they looked newer and I would use them, and these have been really, I like, also very more expensive. Surely Baffles. It says shoes like, what's even baffles? When you're not wearing any shoes, pretty much. Barefoot, thank you. Again, I find it's part of me that wants to cling to them, would like to have gotten more use out of them before this happened. Like, I don't know, but with some things, especially clothes, especially from like high street, I don't want to mention any names, but they didn't used to fall apart so fast when I was young. The quality has really deteriorated, and it's been so disappointing. And that reason alone makes me think, well, it isn't really worth shopping that much, like over shopping, when it falls apart after a couple times of wearing it. It could have lasted me a while, you know. So, I mean, I suppose our parents or grandparents would have said the same thing to us, and yet I did notice that, so it's been disappointing for a while. I mean, really, I had this pair of joggers, I think I wore them like twice. The lint happened straight away. It got like an almost hole, you know, when the fabric, like, you don't really have a hole, but it's like not really, the fabric just like hat die Luft aufgelöst. Blech. Great. Oh no. Ich sag das. Toll, was ich da gerade gelabert habe. Jedenfalls, yeah, say, it's one of those items where I don't even know what to tell you. Oh, I think I wanted to mention, yeah, oh, I did say that. But yeah, I feel like, does it come across because I don't even know what to call it, what he bound. But if we're bound, you know the song Tom Dooley, Bound to Die, and I was really depressing and sad, sorry, but came in my mind because that's what I learned about the word bound. And it's like bound. I wonder if people, like, I don't know if we understand, or if people understand the word enough, or there wouldn't have been a question even in that study group. And what I like understand is like, you know, I want to find the right word so that I don't say anything wrong. But I don't have the word yet. But even the fact that something fell apart could have been what was bound by God. Because I used to think binding meant actually binding something, or like, as I mentioned, yeah, well, when I have better words, I will let you know. I think these have been, so these ones can, unless my husband would like these, which I think he has enough himself, however. Yeah, say, and also plastic isn't that breathable anyway, so I'm glad I have these wooden ones. Clearly they're stashed away, so I mean, I obviously don't need even more, but I would have liked to utilize, and I wanted one for every shoe. And then, oh, there's some shoes where like the shape is kind of different, like those I just shown you. However, I mean, I also think I just liked the idea of the item back then, being a shopaholic, and I wanted to have them and I wanted to utilize them. And I didn't want to on every shoe, but I didn't have like the money to like buy everything at once. So I thought over time I would get more. But then I never have, and now if I don't even use these, like, I don't know, but wanting these out of the boxes means that I want to be able to wear them straight up, not have to take something out, and if I'm going, just want to grab a shoe, put it on, and I really don't even tie the laces, but I will have to tie the laces. So, there's a couple more there. I can't remember what I mentioned and what got cut off in the video. I did have a realization about these. Just like upset because it feels so high. I wasn't like used to that, but now I wear these all the time, and if you put them next to each other, these aren't actually any lower. It just somehow felt like it when walking. So I got used to, and I like this detail so much more, but I didn't know I would find these when you got these, and I kind of convinced my husband to buy these when he probably would have thought buy a cheaper one. So, but there's a story to it, and these look, and these like really good quality, like I don't even know how to explain it. They love, and hush puppies, and they're also really warm, which is good in the winter. I wanted it to be that these are kind of like my more dressy type, and then these are just like my more everyday wear. However, somehow I mostly end up reaching for these because I have two. However, two boots doesn't. I don't know if that is that very many. I mean, maybe I used to have maximum one. I would have like one pair of shoes for each season, and that was it. Which is maybe why I don't reach for some of these too, because I'm not used to it. But then if I had one which was really flat and hard and really kind of bad for the skeleton, I would just continue to wear it because I didn't have anything else. I mean, so maybe simplifying, might be. There would be some benefit to that. Yes, summer for me at the moment, funny, kind of hard to accept nonetheless. Oh god, how can I even like justify that? But okay, there's like a pretty story to it, but I don't know. Let me talk about the other ones first. Also, I forgot I had these. I think it was like a part of me didn't even want to buy them, but I did it anyway. I like him. I really like him. I wanted to replace something. The old ones. Oh, I don't even know. I have to talk about all the shoes at the end of the day, which I don't know if I have the time to do that. But at least I know now. What's going on? Let's close the door. See if it's any more quiet. Well, I wanted to tell you about these because I really loved them. And Essen gave them to me, or bought them out for me, and Palladians, and he thought they were so cool. And obviously my favorite color, love it. But as you can see, look, it actually something. Okay. I think I wore them in the rain one time, which is hard to avoid in this country. So, and this happened, and I was just upset. I think he did say don't wear them, but I didn't think it was going to be so bad. I just thought maybe after a couple times. So they could have like picked a dye that would last. I don't know, like, I mean, this is England. They might not make a specific one only for England, but just, why don't you just use a dye that actually stays in the fabric? And it is fabric, so it soaks up really like quickly. So there's that disappointment that this happened. And if talking about energy, I feel like this is what it was already a choice before I knew it was a choice, because I haven't really reached for them since, because it's so disappointed I didn't like what they look like anymore. They do need wash, so I can like wash them, but I think I've made myself wear them once or twice when I noticed it, but I really just am disappointed because I really miss how lovely they felt and how I felt about them, and also like I value the present that they were and from whom. And so I'm thinking, because it could be possible, like, you know what I thought, because what if I find some dye and that actually like stays in the fabric after washing them, I could kind of dye them. However, like, because of that feeling, the initial disappointment, I feel like it probably would be a case of, you know what God has bound, men shouldn't separate, rather than mending means giving it the attention. And a part of me really wants to continue to wear these and give it, I would simply want to know. I would want to know if, like, see, you can't even say it, because now that you know, if God decided something, and then you're just like, you know, how can you like even say anything more about it? A part of me, I did say at the beginning, we'll just see how it goes. Oh, these would go well with this dress too. Look at the pretty color how it was before. This is not even an ugly color, it's pretty. I was disappointed because these were so new, like I hadn't worn them that often. I mean, I did wear them because I like them, but I hadn't gotten our money's worth yet from the wear that I had gotten out of them so far, and I kind of expected us to have a longer journey to go, because if they were old, it'd just be like, you know what, okay, good, it's time, you know, like, they're old, they serve me well, etc. Like I had with the shoes that actually fell apart so badly that I shown you. no, it's time, you know what I mean? I'm not gonna attempt to fix them because of the very same statement. If they are bound to fall apart, then, you know. It's more a case of, I want it to be like a TLC attention, because I would like to know if the color was renewed, if that would change the way I feel about them. And I wear them, and if I wore them without the disappointment, it would make it fine. And if I, like, it would make it as if that never happened, or like, it's kind of like a chicken and egg thing. Like, the disappointment makes me like not want to wear them, not even want to, makes me not reach for them. And like that already happened. It's like in that moment, if I had the awareness, it would probably be in the right moment to release these. And I held on to them because of what a short time we only had together. I would have liked it to, like, I mean, like, we just bought them and I was really happy about them. So I didn't want that to happen, and I didn't expect it. I didn't know that the dye is such that it actually just comes out from rain. Imagine your clothes doing that. Like, imagine it's just like dripping color because of rain. So I didn't feel like shoes would do that. I didn't think shoes should do that. I hope I'm explaining it enough. And again, I don't know really what to tell you. That I'm actually like still considering that. I just want to know if I'd feel different, because if I still feel the same about them, then even if the color is back, I still feel the same, you know, then I still won't reach them. That's how they end up that's how they begin to belong in the past, right? I feel like they also belong in the past now, but not in such a long ago past that it's actually something like so noticeable that and mostly we don't notice, and where you think we are indecisive and you think, oh, I'm bad at decluttering and blah blah. We actually haven't accepted or haven't, you know, accepted. In any case, I just want to give you a couple of examples, and this is one of the examples. Because if we felt different, it's like, I just know. But like if I ended up, I think the tension because of the bag, I was like, oh, it's a precious item, even because of what it has taught me, and what it means and meant, and who led me to it. You know, who did that. It makes a difference. It like, I wanted to give it attention first. They mend it, and they haven't even had the time. I also wanted to show it to you because I want to talk about it, and I didn't have any time to do that. Which I can't really stop my life to catch up, because then I have nothing to report either. And I'm feeling in this day, past few days, not too satisfied. On Thursday, I feel like an energy crap, and that I doesn't really have a place in my life, and I don't feel yet ripe to like speak on it. I don't know what to say, but it goes back to what I said. Actually, hope this was in the video, because there was one video which disappeared. That I will keep doing what I know to do. And if that's valuable for people, then they can gain that value out of it, and I will, you know, like continue to like. Oh, not only I have awareness, but paying attention, and we'll see. Hopefully, maybe I will know something by that. And the times I said that before, it turned out more well than I had anticipated. So it's like, you know, it's like just determination, but like the knowledge, like, you know, knowing that you needed to find a way, and finding a way, like attempting to find a way, and then you found a way because you wanted to find a way, and you set your mind to finding a way. It's like not even the way, and like the good and the bad way, but a way was found. You know, that's what all we need to do, pretty much. Here you are, and it's like, I don't even know. I thought it was gonna be, I can't even say easier, because it's already simple, but maybe thought I was more, well, you know, I hadn't anticipated what I would like. I don't even know. If I present you the choice of, hey, I'm keeping this anyway, it's just like, you know, as I mentioned with the books, like maybe like ripen towards it. However, I've got a good idea of a couple of things now. I mean, I really, really love these. If I did really love these, or I could end up because I don't even want to wear them in muddy like situations because of who gave them to me and what a beautiful present they were. Like, it's just upsetting that because I feel like they felt like this happened, well, not far apart, but happened prematurely. That there was some kind of quality problem with a couple of items I mentioned. But maybe that goes back to like I said, I feel like I'm used to like better quality from back in the day. However, this isn't like the high street brands I was thinking about. That's not one of them. I think I consider it a good brand. I don't know. Also, these ones, this is really good, and these were expensive. I'm not even putting the brands out because this could literally be any brand, but that still happened too early for my liking, or what I was used to. You can't even make excuses because of who has given us these findings, but it's a first attempt, guys. I'll see. I haven't actually made a choice yet. I'll probably do that off camera. I haven't talked about these. I've talked about a couple. Well, I feel like I really have got some examples. Like, at least you have got now a couple examples of how this can be like understood and like applied to our actual everyday lives. So maybe I'll be saying goodbye now. I'll be saying goodbye and I'll check back in with you guys later on. I mean, wow, I expected to get rid of this one. This came in my mind. Aside from the Valis. Which is actually good and me that I said I love Chris more than you. Because these ones I used to be, oh, so in love with them. Like, I don't know what to call that because it wasn't love. It's like almost addiction. It's like it's just stuff. But I didn't know that, I didn't comprehend it to the depth that I do today, so. Here you go. So I suppose, like, even though I'm looking at all of them, it's like, I guess that's better than just one, but we'll see. Oh, but I like, this one is like now clean. I had kept saying that, oh, there's nothing to clean, oh my god, this doesn't feel as long ago as it was. Oh, shame on me. But last year, when I did the shoe declutter, that was actually made for YouTube. I think it may even be on. I said I need to give them a quick clean. I'll just give them a quick clean after I'm done with the video. Oh my god. Face palm, literally. So, did a couple good things. Any other stuffing I found, I chucked it. Yeah, and maybe these wooden shoe thieves, they can then go into the shoes. We have more. And then actually there would be another box less of these two, look. One less box in the way. Oh, also I bought this and I just bought it because I liked the colours. I didn't even know why I did it. But I did it. And there must have been another one. I'm not sure where it would be. But I have these soles and I don't know if I could try these in the Doc Martens. But I don't think these are, like, they're just like gel. Like, they're not a real footbed, but why is this here? Goodbye. Beautiful. What is this? Oh, I must have gotten like 50p in a cherry shop. Yay! No, I don't. But like long laces, just like so hard to come by sometimes. Yeah, see, these are like the shoe wideners. They actually did make the ones which didn't fit so well bigger already, but they don't make them longer. I can't even find. I had one from another brand. However, now going through all the shoes, I actually saw a couple where I could utilize this on, even though the pink is different from apricot. But as a quick first, like, kind of, well, giving attention can't really be quick, and just a little, it's either it's attention or it's not. But you know, until I maybe buy one of this colour, or maybe see how it turns out if it does the job. Because I'm kind of not picky, but I differentiate about pinks a lot. Like, these are all different colours to me. Like, I know that some people would just think it's just the same, but it's not. Where's the one? I thought he looked so new, and I haven't worn them very often at all. But already you can see they might do with a bit of TLC. So yeah. I'm glad I have them now, because I was like, why did I buy these? I knew I didn't need them. No, I did need them, I just didn't know it yet. Perfect. Okay, well, on that note, I will leave you guys to it for now. And I'll see if I make another update or if I don't. Okay, thank you very much.